Okay, I really don't like these cameras. But this is Northwest UFO Chasers radio broadcast number 15. And this is dedicated to my friend Amy. It's all for you, Amy. And I guess I'm not even looking in the camera correctly. But anyway, this is the me for right now. And yes, I am up here in Seattle, Washington. And we are going to talk about some of the same special things on this radio broadcast that I talked to Amy about. But anyway, I want everybody to know that there is a bigger picture. So, and that bigger picture is a wonderful picture. But it's going to be too much for me to go into right at this moment. But we will say welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you may be in the world. This is Northwest UFO Chasers radio broadcast number 15. And we're going to hope that you stick around.
Send it to you on Monday.
Let's look at that, because when I looked at it, hey, you know.
Hello, I found this in a photograph. I saw me and I had to laugh. You know, I'm not who I was. You were there, you were right above me, and I wonder if you ever loved me just for who I was.
Well, here we are at Packwood, and this is Skate Creek, and man, is it beautiful. Anyway, from here, you can see the creek. And I'm up here looking at some property right now, and there's a house back there that's just absolutely gorgeous. They want about $180,000 for it, which is not bad. It's a log cabin, and I mean, it's actually a house, has a place, it's like on the river, and I might be able to get some pictures of it as I get out of here, but I don't know which way I'm going to go. But I want to, there's the mountain, I mean not the mountain, but that's part of the mountain. And then here's coming up to the bridge. Here's the bridge here. It's just like this little narrow bridge. And I've turned down and in off Skate Creek Road, but there's the water down there, because I got a fear of heights, man, and my stomach kind of goes, ooh. But anyway, isn't that beautiful, just the way that water, see if I can you can almost look into the water, it's so clear. Yeah, you can actually see in the water. See if we can see into that pool. Let's see fish in there. Oops, got a little blurry. Back away from it. Man, it's just gorgeous though. Trails all the way down there. There's my truck. And there's the baby right there by the truck. We'll zoom in on her and see how she's doing. Got some water over there for her. She's not used to being on the leash, but I brought her over here already once. Okay, well, here we are at the Packwood Community Hall. Right there's the Packwood Community Hall. As you can see, the sign says Packwood Community Hall. Anyway, baby Rena is out here trying to figure out how to go to the bathroom. She's sniffing the sniffs. Looking that way, that goes into Packwood, and going out that way is leaving Packwood, and that's Highway 12. But according to the map, I can go this way, leaving out of Packwood, and turn left at Skate Creek Road, and go left and then wind around to Ashford, as it says on the map there. Let's see, yeah, up here, and basically take that 52, and it goes and falls out to Ashford, and then that picks up over here. Let's see, Ashford is kind of like my key to getting me back into Graham, and then I can come home, and maybe that's a new way, faster. Maybe not faster, but anyway, it's a different way, and I'm going to go try it. Because I got plenty of time, and we're having lots of fun. Okay. Well, this is Surtex. That's the entrance to the emergency room, just like on MASH 4077. And this is those are the cots and stretchers, and of course that's the big medical symbol. Here's what the tents look like, you know, and they're all set up over there. We got some water. This is for you, David. We got water over there and some containers.
Lay down, I see. Having a briefing.
All the buildings. Oh, I didn't get the record button going. We got to do that again. Okay, now we got the record button going. Here we are at the office. We got the boys. Hi, sweet baby. How the babies? How the babies? How doing? How doing? What's he doing? Hey, Rena. Hi, sweet baby. What you doing, Rena? Huh? Hey, thanks for sticking around. Okay, what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about the timeline a little bit. And, well, actually, I'm going to blow your heads off with some news about running into the translucent-skinned, white-haired, blue-eyed, advanced humans. And they did buy some coins off me in Packwood, Washington. And I was up there selling my garage sale stuff like everybody else, you know. And I'm supposed to be out trying to relax, you know, and take it easy from secret operations, if you catch my drift. And I want y'all to know that I'm going to give you guys something that's very, very special. And it's a sneak peek into the world of operations. Anyway, it's just a short piece. They let me get away with it. And It's pretty old now. I mean, it's 4 years old. It should be okay, you know. But the guys in this video are all heroes, you know, and I want to point that out. These are guys that went to war. They were in Iraq. They were in Afghanistan. Some of them have been to Pakistan. And these are the guys that are saving lives, believe it or not, patching the soldiers that are getting hurt and putting them back together. You know, and that's what I do. And you know, that's I'm like a in theater, what we do is we represent those pieces of equipment like that are in the hospital. And I was running around with a ultra, you know, wireless wearable ultrasound, you know, and Sonosite and GE both. But basically, with the I was basically the ultrasound screen for in theater anytime we were dealing with patients. And I could, you know, if there was a asymmetric needle injection needed on a floppy fish patient, you know, we could use the transducer on this wireless wearable ultrasound and look inside the arm to see the vein or the artery or wherever, you know, the nurse wanted to inject. You know, sometimes just setting up an IV for IV, you know, installation or whatever, you know, on the patient. But you know, they have Terrason 2000 type software that has colorized Doppler, and you can you know, colorize the amniotic fluid in a pregnant girl to yellow, you know, type thing, and you can colorize the baby tones of human flesh, and you can see live beating heart, and it's pretty fantastic. That's like a portable MRI scanner in theater. And when I say theater, I'm talking about the in the war effort. And medical technology is fabulous, you know, and we would use handheld devices, and we scanned Special Operations Force soldiers' dog tags, and we sucked in their medical records into handheld devices. Altamobile is the name of the software, or it used to be called BMIST, or Battlefield Medical Information System Telemedicine. And we transported that medical record over satellite telemetry to major hospitals, you know, Germany, Rheinstadt type, Walter Reed, Madigan. But depending upon, you know, where we were, you know, I mean, we were chopping them into, you know, Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, you know, sometimes for transport, moving them to a bigger plane from UH-60 or Apache or whatever we were doing. But anyway, like I said, today I'm chasing aliens up here in the Northwest, and I'm doing that to take it easy, and that's what they told me to do, because you know, and I always wanted to, you know, and quite frankly, when I got into it, I didn't know that I was going to run into guys, you know, like James Gilliland up in Trout Lake, Washington, below Mount Adams. And they've got translucent orbs coming out of Mount Adams and floating on his property. And, you know, he's a spiritual master, James. And the people that are in tune with these special harmonic, spiritual, vibrational tones and elements bring the beings that are in these translucent orbs, plasmic orbs. And the reason that they're plasmic in nature is because the properties of electromagnetism and gravity, and you got the strong and weak atomic forces. And if you're using a weak atomic reaction and a strong atomic reaction, and you're moving around each other like a gyroscope, guess what? You tend to be anti-gravitational, and it's a push-me-pull-you effect between electromagnetism and gravity. It doesn't take a genius to understand all this. But what I do want you to know is there are ancient human beings on the planet Earth today. They are the ones that originally created our atmosphere that we live within. Now ask yourself a question. Is there another atmosphere on any other planet in our solar system? No. Not like the one that we have. And the reason is ancient humans who have translucent skin, white hair, and blue eyes. And the reason that they have those features is because if you ultimately do genetic modification of sentient being, man, and take it to its nth degree into the future, basically the colorization of eyes ends up standardizing to blue. We end up with white hair. These are the types of DNA reactions you get after long periods of genetic modification. But these beings, these translucent skinned, white-haired, blue-eyed beings that I'm talking about that are ancient humans were found originally by Admiral Byrd in Operation High Jump. But the correlation there is Joseph P. Farrell. And you have to look at the Joseph P. Farrell work. He's an expert in patristics. What that means is he combines theology with history, and its specific history about the Nazis. And we're talking about the Nazi secret space program that was led by von Braun, who ultimately came over to the United States and worked for NASA. Well, anyway, this gets in going back to basically 1926 and then forward up until World War II. The Nazi secret space program got into, like I said, working with electromagnetism and gravity and the strong and weak atomic forces and gyroscopically moving those nuclear forces around each other to create an anti-gravitational force inside what was known as a bell. Okay? And a man by the name of Gerlach. All of this is substantiated and provable. You can go to our Northwest UFO Chasers group page on Facebook. That's where everybody's joining. There's thousands of people making requests to join that group. I have keep it small. I have a segment of people that have been abducted, and it's pretty much support based as a group, because we don't want any ridicule, about these aliens and UFOs. And if you think things are happening to you and you think things are different in this world today and you want to join us, then we're here to support you. We believe all this stuff. Not totally. We don't go overboard. But again, and I know some of this is hard to grasp, but I want to lay this out. So we've got human beings with human being technology and government technology. That's like SAIC, Northrop Grumman, these contractors, and our advanced technologies that they have with what they're doing with lasers and plasma and particle acceleration and that type of thing. And we have a lot of advanced technologies that the common man doesn't know about. But again, like I said, if and this is where a lot of people, they mishear things I say. But I go all the way back to the Atlanteans and the Lemurians as far as beings. But there are sentient, translucent skinned, white-haired, blue-eyed people that are in control of the atmospheric pressures and things that are going on this planet. And they do not want us to have contact with the alien intelligences that are both malevolent and benevolent, because they have already worked treaties and agreements with them. Everybody is looking at trying to figure out, well, why don't we have disclosure? The government administration doesn't know as much about UFOs as you do, to be honest, and they don't want to know about UFOs. Now, there are secret black operational programs within every contracted entity out there. SAIC, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Defense and Space, and all these companies that have, Halliburton's another one, that have secret black operational contracts going on. Okay. I'm going to take a break right here, and we'll be right back after the break. So thanks for sticking around, and I appreciate that. And I've been trying to get out the fort, so we have human beings. We have ancient human beings. And again, I'm referencing Admiral Byrd in Operation High Jump is the first contact we had in identifying these beings and the intelligence agencies deep within, like, you know, Department of Naval Intelligence type thing, you know, our work, you know about the, you know, these reports have come out on NSA and CIA, and they've disclosed that stuff, but they redact a lot of it, which means they black out a lot of stuff. But there's indicators that they've made contact with these beings. But again, they're the ones that are keeping us from making contact with malevolent, which are the bad ones, benevolent, which are the good ones, alien intelligences out there. Now, I made contact with an alien intelligence, Nordic alien intelligence from Andromeda, Pegasus. HB 24497 water retention planets, the kind of stuff that floats through my head from their pictorial telepathic messages that they are bombarding me with. This has to do with some of the sacred geometric messages that are being left in crop circles all over the earth. And again, we're looking at things generally, you know, through bodies of work, and the spiritual body of work that I always talk about is the Nag Hammadi, the Bible, and the books of Enoch, and there's more to include Sagarma Watamo. Anyway, I have a hard time pronouncing. That's Buddha's real name, and Buddha was a real person that lived on the earth. Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, lived on the earth. So did Muhammad bin Abdullah in the Quran. Real person. Hare Krishna, a real individual born in Dwarka. So these four spiritual masters, you know, they would be appalled to know that we have not stopped this warring as an advanced civilization. Conscientious objection to war, period, is required by any advanced sentient being. And that means that we need to progress as human beings. Okay, on this planet. We need to progress and live up to that so that we can join and meet the benevolent alien intelligences that are out there waiting to make contact with us. But are we going to grow up? You know, are we ready for the next big phase of existence? And, you know, some of these things are, you know, indicated within aneuploid and tetraploid marker indicators within our human genome in the Gattaca. You know, we're going to be able to levitate here, you know. We're going to be able to instantaneously body heal, laying on of hands. Molecularly, atomically manipulate matter, as in feeding the masses like Jesus did with fish and loaves of bread. And walk on water, levitate. I said that already. You are going to be able to do all those things. And the other thing that I want to let you know that you can do, and everybody can, they tell you that we're going to have to develop some technology to move faster than the speed of light. Well, let me tell you, my friends, we've already solved unification theory through the substantiation of superstring theory, which took 30 years. There's an algebraic equation. Well, anyway, when we plug in the calculus, physics, it actually turns out that there's a multidimensionality state to the universe, which fits in with what they're teaching us spiritually, scientifically, through quantum and astrophysics. 9 hierarchical levels of angels, plus the third dimension we live in is 12. That's a sacred number. That sacred number fits into astrological or zodiacal signs in a precessional rotation. So again, we're getting back to talking about things that Graham Hancock and Robert Bauval basically looked at when they dialed the clock back to 10,500 and agreed that the Egyptians had been in an existence on that plateau longer than what modern academia was teaching us. We know that pyramids were all around this banding of the globe in a certain latitudinal line, as in Angkor Wat with the star system of Draconis. The Toltecs, they had star alignments to constellations. It's by no coincidence that the Chinese had, the dragon constellation, Draconis again, and we get mythological stories coming out about dragons all the time. In the ancient cultures and civilizational studies, in the ancient world, the 0/0 latitude longitudinal point was the Great Pyramid of Giza. There was circumnavigation of the globe by ancient Egyptians. We found ancient Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon. The Smithsonian Institution came out, cataloged them, put them in boxes, and they've disappeared. We don't know if you can even request to see them again. This is what they're doing with some of the stuff that we're finding archaeologically. They located the Garden of Eden at the bottom of the Gulf of Oman, in that region. Anyway, you have to look into that. It's where the four headwaters meet, the Gihon and the Pison rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. Anyway, DNI, Department of Naval Intelligence, did submarine dives and probably located the Garden of Eden down there. They also say that they've located remnants of Atlantis from the Phoenician cultures. Alright? But like I said, with my timeline, we've got all of these things that are coming out, putting the whole big picture together. Again, human beings, ancient human beings, alien intelligences, angels, all the way to God. Now, it's said in the spiritual references that Metatron was put on the earth by God. Some believe that he's indicating through sacred geometry messages to mankind. I'm starting to see things. What they were indicating to me is, to begin to see things three-dimensionally within our existence, and that's what really helps. So what I'm really trying to say is, and I use this word phantasmic. I love it when the kids come up and try to buy something from me, and they go, "Hey, mister, have you ever seen this before?" And I say, "Yes, that's phantasmic." That's my new word. But what I'm really trying to say is that God himself is so great in this creation story. He created it with more awe-inspiring wonder than you can possibly imagine, and things that you're dreaming you are creating. And they are coming to pass by you pushing them into your subconscious through the conscious state of the universe, and the collective cloud of distributed consciousness enacts upon that and starts to manifest your dreams. And I can tell you about the fourth dimensional wormhole portal that science knows about, that you can move through into the fifth dimension of ethereal reality. And in ethereal reality, you can